see if there's a better way to do this. Okay, guys. So, I finally figured out how to make a usable map using at least the scale that I need in the CalTopo program. So, I thought for Operation Lone Pine, because for the attackers, I will most likely be having you guys make a sand table. So you guys need to know how to use a map. And I figure, this is kind of cool content. This is fun. This is something I know how to do. Content for the channel. So let's set the stage here a little bit. So this is a map of my property in Ash Fork, where we are hosting Operation Lone Pine series of events. Operation Lone Pine 2 is this Saturday, Sunday. So I have all the boundaries marked out for you guys. Obviously, this is facing north. You have your scale down here, and how you use this. I mean, you can kind of use these scales using, pretty much anything. Take your protractor. You can be like, okay, you got it. Okay, so from here to here, 3 notches past 6,000 mils is 0.1 kilometer at the scale of this map. So okay, then you can use that information later on when you're figuring out when to move. We'll talk about that. Down here, very important, you have your conversion from grid north into magnetic north. I don't know why it says GN. I hope this has to be in grid north. But anyways, you're just going to be converting this into magnetic, because this is set, this is the grid, this is the map. Northing, right? Okay, so I have a few points here. So this, like I said, this is a 100 meter grid square. So it's pretty easy, right? You're not navigating super far. Like, realistically, there's not really any navigation that's going to be happening during Operation Lone Pine. Everything, you can just, there's boundaries marked with police tape and all that. But for the sake of the roleplay, the LARP, it's kind of cool to know. So I have a couple points here that I want to show you guys how to plot. Let's look at this grid coordinate. So let's say the point we're at, because you have to know, in order to navigate, you have to know where you are and you have to know where you want to go. So let's say you're at the north of the property, over where the vehicles are probably going to be parked. So you take your protractor. You have to have your protractor. And so you go over here. You look, okay, 558. Because how you read it is it's up and then to the right, right? So you have this sort of angle going on. That's how you read it in order to put it into your protractor. So okay, I'm right here, right? So let's just mark it. So I know for a fact I'm standing right here on my map. So okay, in order to find that, you move this bottom line along the southern boundary of the grid square. Okay, I'm there. And then how you read it is you come over here. You look how far you move to the right, right? So these numbers will line up. So for a 10-digit grid, that would be, let's see, I'm at 558. And then 5, that's your 8th digit, your 4th digit of this sequence. 1. So you're at 55851. That's your, like, down to a fucking meter is where you're at. So let's write that down real quick. So we're at 55851. And that's your easting. That's called an easting. Northing is really simple, I guess. Like, you don't have to, I mean, it's all really simple. But all you got to do is look over here. Okay, we're at 945. And you look back over here, and you're already here. 945 5, and we're exactly at the 5 mark here. So I would write that down. What do we say? 9 4 5 5 0. I would write it like that. I don't know. That's how my brain works. Okay, so that's where we know we're at. So now that we know where we're at, we can use that to navigate, and I'll show you guys how to do that when we have these other points plotted. So generally, when you're doing land navigation like this, like say you're doing an army course, that's, you know, typically in real life, in real operations, your checkpoints are going to be like linear, right? So you'll go from checkpoint 1 to checkpoint 2 to checkpoint 3, right? And those will be generally linear. But these are just random points that I picked out, and so what you'll do, like for a course, if you're doing a land nav course, is what you'll do is, since they'll be randomly placed, you'll want to go to whichever point is closest, so you can get that point. And then what you do is you make a route plan. That's what they call it. They call it route planning. So let's backtrack. The first thing you got to do is plot all your points. So we have where we're at. We just plotted that. And how you plot your points is very important. You need to take great care in this. Obviously, this is just a notional point because I'm not actually on the property. But you get the idea. You want your dot to be very fine. Like, technically, you see how this dot, I kind of marked it shittily. This could probably be actually like 7 or 6 9. What did I mark? 55851. Yeah. So actually it'd be closer to like either 5 0, like with the dot. So you need to be very precise with how you mark it. Okay, so let's plot these other points. We have 5583 9435. So this is an 8-digit grid. To give you guys some context, the length of the grid coordinate is how fine the detail is. So an 8-digit grid gives you down to within a 10-meter spread, and that's typically the grids are going to be given out. Since within 10 meters, you should probably be able to see whatever you're trying to navigate to, whether it's army and it's just like a freaking set of numbers on a post you have to write down, or in real life, you're probably navigating to like probably a landmark or something that you can terrain associate and realize, oh shit, we're here now. Hopefully, in real life, your private is keeping a good, your rifleman's keeping a good pace count. So let's just bang these out. So 5583. So 558. We're down here. So let's take the 3-digit. So we're given a 3-digit since this is a 100-meter grid squares. So 558. So we're gonna be over here again, and you gotta make sure this is all lined up. Okay. And then it's 9435. So 943. So we're gonna be down here. Boom. 943 558. Let's look at that. So we're on our first point. 558 943. Cool. And then that's 5583. So you'll move it like this, right? You're coming to the right. Bang, 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 bang. 3. Cool. And you look up. 9452. Or 9435, my mistake. I read the one below it. 943 5. So you're going to be about right here. Cool. So there's our first point plotted. Cool. So if we were to go straight from the point we know we're at to the point we want to go, what we do is, so with these military protractors, there's going to be a hole in the middle. Okay, and what you're going to want to do is to get some 550 cord and run it through that slot, tie it off, because it's going to be, this is how you actually know how to use your compass, like where exactly in degrees you're going. So come up here, okay, and then you kind of using both hands to hold this camera. You take your string, make sure all this is lined up. Make sure it's aligned. Make sure you have, like, your protractor always needs to be aligned with the grids in order to ensure that you're doing it right, essentially. So boom, we're lined up. It's not crooked, because if it's crooked and you pull it down, you straighten it out, it's going to be telling you to go in a degrees or in a direction that you shouldn't be going in. Let's do that again. Okay, we're lined up. Boom, move this down. And then what you do, like I said, let me see if I can, yep, there we go. Take it and pull string to line up at that point. Okay, and then this smaller number on the inside, the one below the red number, is the degrees that you need to head in. So I would say that's about, let's see, I just dropped my camera, but let's see. You're going to be going about 185, 186 in your grid degrees. Okay? Now what you need to do is you need to look down here. You need to convert it into magnetic north. Okay, so for this one, you're adding 10 degrees. That 0.1 degrees is important if you're doing like some major movement, like multiple kilometers. The scale of this map is like, this is what, like a 250 meter movement. It's not bad, but like you shouldn't be getting lost, right? That's 3 azimuths that you're shooting total. Okay, cool. So that is 195 magnetic. So you come over here to your compass. Amazing. Take it in your thumb. You use the thumb loop, all that goodness. It's like this. Hold it steady, flat, hopefully, right? Cool. And what you do, come down here. Okay, let's find 195. That should be like, that's like straight, almost straight south. Okay, cool. It's figuring its life out. Okay, a little bit more to the right. Get there. A little bit more. Come on, get there, get there. Okay, cool. We're at 195, roundabout. Okay, so now you look up. Boom, there's a poster. That's a landmark. So you're looking for a landmark. Cool, right? And then you flip the lid down onto this little peephole. Let's do that real quick. Cool. Here we are. So you look through it. Let's see if the camera will focus. Yeah, it does. So you look down here, and you can see, so we're actually, I turn a little bit, so I need to turn back. So you can correct yourself while you're holding the damn thing. Old compass, please. Okay, we're notionally looking at 195 degrees. I won't beat this to death. Then you look through the top, which is through this wire, through the top of your vision. I'm trying to focus it, but it's in the top over here. And then you use that to aim. You want to line it up like that. You can kind of see the post. You want to use that to aim at whatever landmark. And then you walk, ideally 100 meters forward, because you need to know what your 100 meter pace count is. And then you pause, you look around, you look through your compass again, make sure you are going to, you're back on track for 195 degrees. Because the idea is that you're looking at a landmark that is, you know, so many distance away, that is for sure within the path of 195 degrees. So you walk over to that, and then you shoot another azimuth to the next landmark, or it's the next, thing. It could be arbitrary. It could be, 100 meters or the next landmark, right? I would probably stop every 50 meters, especially if it's a really long movement where a little fuck up will just screw you completely over. But yeah, eventually you'll reach your whatever you're trying to get to. I think this compass might be a little old. Like, it seems to get stuck a decent amount, but not a big deal. You can buy compasses pretty cheap. Swim back over here. Come on, get there. Eh, 195, right? Pretty simple. So yeah, land nav is really easy. You just need to have discipline in your plotting. Like, plotting is probably the hardest part. The second hardest part being making sure your pace count is good, and your pace count will change slightly if you're going up shitty terrain. Like, if you're climbing a hill, your pace is like the amount of distance you're covering with your stride will be shorter. So you need to account for that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We can plot the rest of these. So we've got where we are, where we wanted to go, which actually let me tell you how to figure out how far away that is. So this is 1 in 25,000 scale. So, head math conversion, knock off a 0 for 1 in 2,500, which this map is. That's the scale of this map. So to get to there, that'd be 100 meters. And let's see if that's accurate. So we're lined up. 0, 1,000, 0.1. It lines up perfectly. So every, what is this? 2 inches? Inch? I think that's 2 inches, right? Yeah. That's 100 meters. So we come up here, and this makes it real easy, this compass ruler. Come over here. Okay, 0, line it up. So that's almost exactly 200 meters away. Too easy. For me, that's my 100 meter pace count is 68 paces. And that's, you count every other left foot. So, left, right, left, 1. Okay, 68 for me. And you have to figure that out on your own. So yeah, and then you can use other things like ranger beads to keep track of how far you've moved. Just so you don't have to keep in your head like, oh, I've moved 100 meters, and then because you start over from 0. You don't go, you don't have to know what 68 times 2 is to know what fucking your 200 meter, you've gone 200 meters. I mean, maybe if you have something easy, like if you take like really just fucking massive steps and your pace count like 50 paces for 100 meters, I mean, that would be tremendously convenient. But yeah, you get the idea. So let's plot the rest of these. That's the fun part to me. I mean, it's all fun. Land nav is fun as shit, but okay, cool. So we have this number down. That 10-digit grid is where we are. There's our first point. So we're marking 55839452. So let's find 94 real quick. Okay, 94. We're here. And then it's 558. So that's here. Slide it over. Boom. Okay, we're looking at 944, 558. Is that right? No, I'm supposed to be at 945. Okay, cool. Hey. Discipline, right? Okay, 558, 945. We're here. So we're going to be pretty fucking close to where we already are. This is where your route planning would come into effect, right? Because obviously, because when you do, when they do these tests, you know, your land nav test, how it was for us is they weren't in like ascending or descending order, right? So you have to plot all that shit and then be like, oh, this point is like right next to me. Let's go to that one first. Or you could do it based off of easy train association. So at Benning, a lot of the points for the land nav courses, of which there are like 3 or 4, I think there's 4. A lot of those are going to be literally right off of the road. So you can hop on fucking Moy Road and basically just run it down because you can train associate. You know, there's that bend going down. Fuck, I don't even remember what that road's called. But, you know, it'll be right there, and you know, like, okay, we can run it down, and then the points out there are self-correcting. It's a self-correcting course, so it's just stupid easy. Anyways, back to it, right? So 5583. So 5583. Go out. Boom, 3. And then it's 9452. So that is right here about. Move back. Oh, I fucked it up a little bit. Close enough, right? This is, let's whip out our compass again. This is literally probably not even like 15 fucking meters away. So that would be 40 meters off of where I'm standing. Or like 40, 35, 45, no, 45. Cool. Last point. Let's do our last point here. So that's 5593, 5593, and then 9428. 942. So yeah, that's down here. So 559, 942. Boom, we're here. And that's 5593. Again, I think all these are, yeah, all the fourth digit of the easting is 3. So okay, we're going out 3 again. Okay, we're there. And that's lined up right. Yeah. And then 9428. So we're up here. So that's like right along the edge of the property. Basically, literally, like really right there. Okay, that's 5593. 9428. 9428. Cool. So here's our points. So if you were to make your route plan, okay, this would be, and you'll have a march, right? So you'll have, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you'll have your grids. So when you're marking this, so let's say, let's see, so we'd write this as like, let's put this as H for home, too easy. And then we would do, so this was 945, this is supposed to be 9452, and 5583, yeah, of course, every time. So we would mark this as 2, so this would be the second one if we're going in sequence of this. So we'd mark 2, and then you have, this is 5583, fucking 9435. Yeah. So this would be 1. And then the last one's 3, right? So here's your route, right? So when you're hitting these points, you know, okay, this is, I can just glance down. Okay, this is this one. You know, you look at the sign, it has the grid coordinate. You look back down. Okay, here we are. Write that shit. Write whatever number it is. You know, fucking, you know, it'll be something like, you know, it'll be a sequence. Okay, too easy. So this is your route plan. You're looking at the train, so you can't really see shit here. I need to figure out how to put contours. The issue with this kind of property is it's pretty flat. Like there's no like major like, oh shit, here's this big hill here, like you'll see in the swamps of Georgia and you know, Fort Benning. So it's land navigation is a little bit more difficult. But you can see even on this map, like okay, this, I mean, it might be kind of hard for the camera, but you can say like, okay, this soil is lighter. It was printed in a lighter shade of white, and this is darker, and you can see where the trees form natural kind of, because this is actually a hill over here, a gentle hill. So you'll be like, okay, I know where I am. I'm at the front of this lot. I can see this road because this is a road here, right? Be like, okay, hit this one real quick. I basically know where it is. It's fucking southwest, like right next to me. Okay, walk right there. Okay, get the point. And then I know, okay, looking at it, okay, I'm going to go south like 100 and, this is the one that was like exactly 200 meters, I think. Pull our compass back out. Okay, ruler. This is, no, this is more like, just count the notches. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 100 right there. And then you keep going, and then that's like, what, 180 meters. Cool. So now I think in my head, okay, I'm going south 180 meters. Like, and it will kind of, depending on the map you get for your land nav test, the points could literally be this close together in some cases, or they might be, you can see right here how this follows this kind of natural wash. And there is a gentle dirt road that actually follows the property down that you'll notice when you're on it. And then you're like, okay, I'm just going to follow this road down. And then boom, if this is Army and there's just a fucking post in the ground with a number on it, that's probably my point. And if it's not, at least for Benning, self-correcting, you walk up to it, say there's another point right here. You'll be like, okay, shit, I'm right next to it. And then you walk, because maybe you fucked up your pace count, and maybe you dead reckon, and you just got fucked up, right? You're like, okay, 20 meters away, hey, I turn to my right, and boom, there's the point I need. Pretty simple stuff. So yeah, that's your land nav crash course ahead of our little airsoft game, and I'll tell you guys how to make a like a sand table. It'll be pretty simple shit, because there's not going to be like, you're not doing great big movement where there's phase lines and checkpoints and all this crazy shit. It's going to be like, if you're attacking, we're probably going to have our camp probably pretty near the second point on this map. And then it's going to be like, okay, we sent up UAS and we spotted the enemy position fucking right here. Like maybe, I don't know how, I've never used a drone. I've never used UAS. I assume they can just pull grid coordinates because it's, maybe some sort of GPS. Okay, we saw him here. Or hell, maybe you don't even know that, but roughly, how far away you are from them, so you can take a guess and be like, okay, the enemy patrol base is like in here somewhere. And it's like, okay, you have your sand table, boom, we'll flip it over, make an example. So you're like, okay, we're here. You make your little, north, south, whatever. Okay. And it's like, okay, we know we're here. Enemy position somewhere over here to the southeast. Let's say, 100, 200. And on the bigger ones, I think on the bigger, because I'm not an officer, right? This isn't my forte. But I think sometimes there's like even like a strict scale. Like I know on the macro sand tables, they will go as far as to make literal grid squares with with string. It's crazy. It's really impressive stuff. But yeah, cool. And you're like, okay, they have like a defensive thing here. Like maybe the drone was close enough to the ground. Like, okay, they got sea wire here that we were gonna need to breach. Hell, maybe this is a trench line. But so you make all these details down to whatever finest degree that is still useful for you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's probably as far as we'll go on Saturday evening. So yeah, cool. Thanks for tuning in. Make this is like an actual video, not just a stream. So you guys can come back and maybe watch before we get started on Saturday. All right, bye-bye.